My channel. It's me, Pam, better known as Miss 58. I was gonna, create another little simple look. I'm a neutral kind of girl, so and I don't mind a little color, but I thought I'd pop back on here and go ahead and create another video here and chat it up a little bit with you guys. If you're new here or if you're reoccurring, hey, welcome back, and I appreciate you stopping by. And if you haven't already, I really appreciate it if you go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. I appreciate that a great deal. It would mean a lot to me. Um, Other than that, guys, we're not going to drag this intro out, like I have been, because I can be a bit chatty at times. And I'm trying to work on that. You know what I mean? We want to just, look at videos and hopefully it provides what you need, get right down to the process, and keep it moving. So that's what we're going to try to work on today. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and get into this video. Okay, guys, as you can tell, I am back. The eyebrows is already prepped and ready. The skin has been prepped and ready. I've already applied my moisturizer, my primer. I did use my Fenty primer here already. I haven't been using that for a while here. Well, I've used it a few times these last couple of times. But what I'm trying to do is get in the habit of using up some of the older products that I already have. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and prep under the eye where my hyperpigmentation is here. And I also have it over on my eyelid as well. So we're going to go ahead and pat um, this corrector here. And this is in my NYX correcting palette, concealer correcting palette. And it's in the shade, this orange shade here. And I'm tapping very little of this product under the eye. And I didn't need a whole lot of it because that way we won't have to worry about doing much blending out before I apply the rest of my facial products, okay? So I'm going to take this dense brush I have here, okay, and I'm going to go ahead and blend this out with some light taps up under my eye. Now, I didn't apply a lot for a reason. One, because I'm an older chick and I'm dealing with mature skin here. And I'm a firm believer where with me, using my face products, less is more. So I don't want to go in with a lot of product under the eye, and then by the time I add my foundation, concealer, and setting powder, I don't want it to be thick and heavy where it will create any creasing. So now that I've gotten that color correcting area blended out under the eye, I'm going to go over the top of my eyelid now and do the same thing, except this time I'm using my Old Faithful Too Faced here in the shade medium. And I'm going to go over the lid of my eyes and color correct that as well. Now, this lighter, of course, concealer, this lighter concealer gives me a much brighter look once blended out on the eye, so it will make any eyeshadow that I apply stand out. Okay, so I'm going to go in and with this, and with that same dense brush I just used under the eye, I'm going to go in and blend that concealer out I just applied. And I'm going to marry the two that the one that I've already applied as well, to define my brows. Now that there was the LA Girl Pro Concealer. So I'm going to take my Sonia Kashuk sponge here, and I'm going to go over that just to absorb any extra product that don't need to be there. And make sure, the eyes crease less before I apply some setting powder here, which is my Sasha Buttercup. So I'm going to pat this over my eyelid to set the eye. And I'm lightly tapping this in. Guys, let me say this. I noticed my camera is doing some funny stuff here. It keeps shading and getting bright you know, but please forgive me if that happens. I'm working on trying to do something about that. Okay, now that the eyes are set, I think I'm going to go back into my HipDot palette. I have used this palette a couple times already before. And I really like the colors in it because the colors are just awesome, you know. They really are. So I'm going into this palette. And I think I'm going to go in with orangey shade here as my transitional color. Okay, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to blend this in my transitional area. Okay, guys, now that I done put enough of this orange shade on both eyelids here in the transitional area, I think I'm going to go into this black that's in this palette. Okay, as you can see right there. Now, the only difference is you have to be real careful using black because it can go south real quick. But I'm going to give it a try. I'm a little apprehensive about it. I'm a little skeptical. But I'm going to go in with it anyway. You know, I'm a Viking. I'm just going to go for it. So, you know, I use very little. And I'm using the same blending brush. And I'm going to lightly use this near the outer portion of my eye. Just to kind of deepen it up a bit in that transitional area as well. Using a black shade, honey, will make you give it a second thought if you ain't careful. Because like I said, honey, it can make or break a look, that's for sure. Okay, I think I'm going to go in with another blending brush. And I'm going to go back into that orange shade that I used it first. And I'm going to go back over top of that black I just applied. And this is just to diffuse it some. We wanted the black there, but we didn't want the black to be, or don't want, excuse me, the black to be overbearing. I think what I'm going to do is go in and do two different shades of blue. Okay, so I want to go in with a matte blue, and I'm going to apply this to the outer portion of my eye. And actually more in the mid to the outer point of my eye. I have very small eyes, so I need to be real careful without making sure we don't have too much color on my eye, or just have my eye with my color all over the place, you know. But I'm going to go back in with that previous blending brush into the black shade again here. And I'm going to apply a little bit more of that on the end. Okay, guys, I'm going to go in with the same flat shader brush that I used. And what I'm going to do is wet the other side of this brush. And I'm going to go in with a much shimmering shade of blue. But I think it looks more like a turquoise blue right here. I'm going to go with that shade in the inner portion of my eye. And see what we come up with after wetting my brush. So I'm going back over it again at the top with my blending brush to blend these shadows out. Okay. Alright guys, let's get some lashes on, okay? Get these lashes on and I'll be right back. Okay guys, we are back. Lashes are on. So I noticed there's a little fallout under the eye. So I need to get that cleaned up. And I'm tapping over that because I've already applied that concealer under the eye. So anyway, without, dragging on about that, I decided to pull out the old Fenty. Haven't used this in a while. So I've been kind of back and forth with it really because with Fenty, with this, I'm still unsure about what my shade actually is. So if you guys got any tips or anybody that may be my complexion, um, got some, like I said, some tips or, a different shade number you can give me to try, I would greatly appreciate that. Now this shade I'm holding here is in the shade 380. Now I did find out that, the shades dry, darker than what they already appear. So I'm still straddling the fence with it. So just let me know. You guys just let me know if I need to get a different shade color. Okay. And since we know it dries down pretty fast, I'm going to go ahead and blend this out. Guys, I have to tell y'all, I was a little skeptical about this eye color choice. And even though I like the blue is my favorite color again, and I love the different shades of blue. But I don't know, girl, honey, it's something about, when your face ain't fully done yet, that blue can make you second guess the color choices you made, if that makes any sense. Okay, so I'm tapping this over the forehead or around my brows, because as you guys know, when I define my brows underneath, I never apply concealer around the top of my brows. And I don't do that by choice, because I know my foundation will take care of the top part of my brows for me. So I'm going to continue to tap this in around the eye and the rest of the face. I feel like something is pulling on my eye here. Okay, now the next thing I'm going to do is take in 2 different shades of concealer for my under eye area. And I'm going to go in with the same shade I used to conceal my eyelids by Too Faced, which was in the shade medium. So I'm just going to tap a little bit of this in the same areas I always put it. I never apply too much or go, too heavy-handed with it, because very little go a long way with this old girl. So after I laid that one down, then I go over top of that with a shade. I'm unsure what the shade is, but I'll make sure everything I use is in the description box below. But I do know it is by Beauty Bakery. And it's a little bit more of a browner shade, as you can see, with much more of a deeper undertone. I want my face to be bright in them areas, but I don't want it to be too bright. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and blend this in. And when I apply concealer to my nose, as you notice, I only do in the bridge area. Okay, and under the eye, I tap this very little amount of product, as you see. And I'm going to lightly tap that into place, going further and further under the eye where I need to conceal. Just like that. Okay, now I'm going to go right in with my Sasha Buttercup setting powder, and I'm going to set under my eye. Using very little product of this setting powder and tapping it into place. Okay, so I'm going to go around the edges of that with my beauty sponge here to make sure the edges of this powder and concealer was well blended out around where I just applied. So I'm going to go over my chin and down my nose just a bit. And you know it takes until you get the rest of your face done or partially done, getting close to being finished, where the eyeshadows pop even more. Ain't that crazy? Let me know if anybody else feels that way while they doing their face. You know, I love me a good shimmered eye look, but I also love me a good matte as well. Now, like I said, as an older chick, I don't mind, you know, having a little color or playing in a little color with the eyes. I just don't want, I just try not, rather, to go too extreme and over the top um, with my eyeshadow choices. So, even though I've, you know, they are pretty, I've seen all kind and they are pretty, I just have to keep mine at a medium, um, which is what I prefer, you know, because like I said, I want my eyes to stand out and be the statement piece because I try real hard to keep the rest of my face very simple. Um, so I want my eyes to be the focal point. I just try not to go over the top with it. So, with anyway, let me go in with my lining here, as you guys already know. And what I'm going to do is define the bridge of my nose just a bit. Again, I never go all the way down. My nose only in the bridge area. Just so it'll look like, you know, I do have a bone structure there, you know. And I want it to look very faint, you know, sort of look, you know, extremely natural looking, which is what it does now, what it's looking like now, which is pretty much what I was going for. So, now that that's done, well, I might as well go over the rest of my face with some setting powder, even though I felt like I really didn't need it with the Fenty because it really dries down matte. But I'm going to go over it anyway, just a little bit. And this is my NYX setting powder. And I'm just going to lightly dust this all over the face. Now, I don't do much contouring. I don't do contouring at all. I do very little bronzing, as you just saw. Okay, so, and I'm okay with that. Because like I said, I try to keep my face looking as natural looking as possible and let my eyes be the focal point. It just works better for me that way. Um, and plus, I don't like my face feeling like I have a lot of heavily made makeup on it. Okay, now that I got that out of the way, I am going to go in with my same blending brush and go into my Iconic London palette here. And I'm just going to add just a splash, just a splash of, it's pinky peach color right here in the middle. And I'm going to put just a little bit of that to the cheeks. Okay, guys, we are nearly finished, honey, with this old lady, because, honey, this old lady don't take much. She don't take much. So the next thing I'm going to do, though, before I go any further, because there's only one more thing that I'm going to do besides setting my face, and that's put a little gloss on the lips. So let's go ahead and set my face, okay, and get that out of the way. And this here is my Maracuja Mist. I did receive this in my Box of Charm. This is by Tarte. And ever since I used it, started using it when I first got it, honey, it's been ongoing because this is really good. You know, it gives off a very fine mist, which is good, real good. And you know, like anything else, it helps to um, get rid of all the powdery look that's on the face. And so I take my sponge and I pat that setting mist into my skin and let it absorb the powder and get down in my pores. Okay, the only thing left, guys, is to put just a little something on these lips. Now, usually, guys, I am just fine with a basic gloss or even a simple chapstick, especially if I was going out, you know, because we still wearing masks, so wearing a lip color that's going to be moist, or you chase it with a lip gloss or something of that nature, will be pointless because it'll end up on the mask. So I do love me a nice matte look, matte lip. But you know, I'm not going for a matte lip today, so I'm just going to apply a little gloss, and because I'm not, you know, stepping out nowhere right now. I just came back in a few hours ago, so I'm in for the day. So I'm gonna go in with a random um, lip liner here I got from my local beauty supply. Okay, now I'm gonna go over top of that with a simple gloss, and this is one by, you know, one of my favorites of Marc Jacob little simple glosses. Okay, guys, that will be the extent of this look. You guys tell me what you think. I hope everything came out satisfactory to you guys. I am liking it. I do love the two-toned eyeshadow look on the eyes. Subtle, but you know, I can be seen. You know what I'm saying, from a distance, and you know, and like I said, the eyes is always a statement piece for me. Long as it's simple, nicely done, that would be me. But anyway, guys, I don't want to continue to ramble on. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Please go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button down below. I greatly appreciate it. I will make sure I leave everything that I used in the description box below, that I've created this look with. And oh, don't you guys forget to go over to Instagram. I do have an Instagram page over there too, and it's called Miss 58. That's where you can find me. So without that being said, guys, I don't want to detain y'all any further than, you know, I've already have. Leave any comments down below. Let me know if it's anything different you'd like for me to try. I am more than happy, you know, to do that, to accommodate that if I can. You know what I'm saying? So I would appreciate that. And let me know if it's anything I could have done differently. You know what I'm saying? With the eyes, or for mature skin, you know, or mature woman like myself. So, again, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Y'all continue to stay blessed, stay safe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.